What would you say my purpose is? If you had to give me something.
I think that your purpose, I can't speak for you about
what do you
what your
think?
purpose
Just on the
is.
surface, if you had to pick one.
Yeah. I think that you are a community leader.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you are purposed to lead a community of people, and you do that through community and connectivity.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I think if I did it long enough, eventually I just wouldn't want to do it anymore. Or as you accomplish something, the purpose becomes something else.
Well, I was going to say, it's not that you don't want to do it anymore. Maybe you accomplish something. So let's just say, for example.
So is purpose based on a time frame or a season or a window of time?
No. So I just looked up the actual definition of purpose. And it is the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists.
Okay.
Right? So there are reasons for which you do the morning meetup. There's a reason in which you exist. And if we go down that lane, we'll probably get into a religious conversation or a spiritual conversation. And I kind of want to not do that right now. But we all know that there's a reason that we exist. And for the most part, if I can say, I believe that the reason that we exist is to spread, to live a life in a way that validates and spreads the goodness of God. Right? And we have found our own special way to do that. Mm-hmm. I believe that my purpose is connected to helping people decide to live a life above average, like not to settle in their lives. And that's something that I have always done. From when I was selling real estate, from when I was selling cars, from when I, had my clothing store. Like for me, I couldn't just own a clothing store and just sell dresses. Yeah. The same thing. You couldn't just own a kiosk and just sell t-shirts. I would find myself in this clothing store coaching women. Yeah. Who are you buying this dress for? Your daughter? Yeah. No way. No way. Right. Bring her in on Sunday when I'm closed. I will work with you guys. Like I have been in pursuit of helping people see the bigger picture and aspire to be more than average. Right?
I like that. You know what I think you may not have, you wouldn't have had that experience had you not opened the store, unless you did something else, you'd had that experience. But just for this example, you wouldn't have had the experience of like identifying how an outfit changes someone's feeling and emotion and their self-confidence, things of that nature. You wouldn't have had that experience if you didn't open the store. But if you were thinking, well, my purpose isn't to open a store, you probably wouldn't have opened the store to have that particular experience. Mm-hmm. And I think there are a lot of entrepreneurs, they're trying to figure out what their purpose is before they get started, when I would encourage you to get started in something. Like, just don't let your time be wasted. Don't let your life, okay, if I had to say a purpose, don't let time be wasted. I believe your purpose on this earth is not to waste your time.
For sure.
And some people are wasting their time trying to figure out how to not waste their time.
Yeah.
Before they do it. Like, I'm like, pick something.
Well, here's the thing. Just to piggyback off of what you're saying, I had no clue when I was selling cars and houses and clothes and owning the clothing store. I had no clue that these things were connected to my purpose. I didn't spend time, like we all have that question, like, man, what does my life mean? Why am I here? What am I meant to do? It didn't just like hit me in my 20s, like your purpose, young Donnie, is to blah, blah, blah. Young like Donnie. I think people say, that they've heard that from God. It didn't come for me like that, right? What ends up happening is, for me, years later, I have found something, and this is the longest that I've ever stuck to a thing, right? I'm usually flipping in and out of opportunities and ideas. This is the longest that I've ever stuck to something, and this is something that I can't not do. Like, it's really, really clear that helping people, impacting people, leading people is just people have called me bossy my whole life, right? When really I'm just a leader. I'm a leader and I am going to lead. The same things that I used to get in trouble for in elementary school are the things that have made me next level today.
Yeah.
Being too talkative, being bossy, not, being I used to get in trouble for taking charge when we had team assignments. Like that's just me. For example, at my Wealthish event 2 weeks ago, shout out to all the ladies of Wealthish, Coach Kelly, we're at the event and I'm like taking charge. I'm like, this needs to happen. This needs to happen. This needs to happen. I'm a nightmare to work with when it's like under pressure. I don't want to say I'm a nightmare, but we're going to get it done and we're going to get it done right? And if that's not you, then I'm a nightmare.
Sure.
So I'm like, this needs to get done. And we were so behind because we had so many hiccups of things that just happened and threw us off that there's 7 women putting on this event. And I just like, I'm going to step up and take charge, right? So I'm taking charge and we got this thing that's happening in the front of the room, this like breakfast, the way we're supposed to serve breakfast to our VIPs. And me and Coriel had discussed how that's going to go. And I have it in my head, like, this is how it's going to happen. And then Coach Kelly comes in and she like makes it happen a different way. And I'm like, no, they were supposed to. And she's like, Donnie, calm down. Let me help. You don't have to be dominant in everything. And that resonated. I'm like, Coach Kelly, you're right.
And the way Coach Kelly talked, first off, is not offensive. Anybody else said it, you might have bucked back.
Yo, what you mean?
Yeah, the way Coach Kelly talked, she's so
motherly and nurturing.
When she talks, I feel like there are arms.
There's arms wrapped around you. And Coach Kelly has this Southern twang, right? She's got this Southern twang that just, and Donnie, just let me help you in this. She's like, let me help. She's really, Donnie, let me help you in this.
Yeah.
You don't have to be so dominant in everything. You handle what you're handling and let me handle this. It'll be fine. Trust me. And in that moment, I was like, okay, Coach Kelly. Okay.
Let your man say that. You ain't got to be so dominant. You're like, what?
Now I'm masculine. Now I got masculine energy. Yeah, but it was, I was reminded. But the thing is, most people are afraid to say, I'll take ownership of this. I'm going to take charge, right? I'll take the lead on this rather. And I'm not. And these are things that got me in trouble over the years. But if I was super passive, I wouldn't be who I am today, right? Brings me back to my point. Purpose for many people doesn't just slap you in the face until it slaps you in the face. And so in order for me, the way that I found my purpose was trying a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of stuff. I have tried a whole bunch of stuff. And even in the worst things that I have tried, I have found myself trying to help the others that were trying this thing with me or involved in this thing with me. Like, you could be doing something different. You could be doing, why don't you try this? Why don't this? That I have always been that person that helped to shift other people's perspectives, to consider a different path, to consider a different opportunity, to consider new goals. And that is just who I am. So when you're on your journey, like, you can't say, I'm not going to do this because I don't know what my purpose is. Just do it. Just do it. The real estate, the cars, the clothes, the network marketing, coaching, and what I do now, at the end of the day, it's believing bigger.
Yeah.
When people came in to get that Denali and they were scared to do their loan application, hey, calm down. You make the money. You've got decent credit. What are you so afraid of? I'm encouraging them to think different. When women were coming in my clothing store not feeling great, I'm encouraging them to think different. When people were scared to move in certain neighborhoods, I'm encouraging them to think. And what I do right now, I am encouraging people to do different to get a better result. That is the common denominator. When you think about what you actually, it's not selling cars. I didn't just sell cars. I didn't just sell houses. You're not just working at the mall. There's something special about you. Maybe you go above and beyond in customer service. Maybe you're consistently a top salesperson and you are dynamic at closing big deals. Like, there's something special that no matter what it is that you've tried or you do, there's a common denominator that is likely attached to your purpose.
100%. I will 100% agree with that. And I think that thing will show up in whatever you do. But the key is whatever you do.